An example of that is in movement. In the CHEK system, we talk about the primal movement patterns. Well, actually, to get it right, it's the primal pattern movements, because that's how it's trademarked, the primal patterns. And what they are based on is the notion that, you've got infinite numbers of ways that you can move. But when you look at the common denominators of those movement patterns, they pretty much all boil down to 6 primary movement patterns plus gait. So you've got the squat, the bend, the lunge, the push, the pull, the twist, and then gait. And pretty much any movement you do, those are the common denominators. So
gait is not in itself a single movement, isn't it? When a squat, there are a few joints moving in a squat, but in gait there's a whole lot more going on than one.
It's much more complex. Thing. Yeah. I don't know if that's a question or if that's a...
Well, you said it boils down to 6 things plus gait, and the 6 things are individual, easily accessible things.
Well, am
I wrong on that as well?
Yeah, I would say they're not especially easily accessible. They sound, like a squat sounds easily accessible, but of course, you really need to assess it in all 3 planes of motion, and there's lots of different ways you can assess it. You can assess it statically or dynamically in terms of a static squat or a ballistic squat or a depth squat or a squat with load, without load, standing on a Swiss ball, standing on a Bosu. So different righting and tilting environments, which are things that may or may not be relevant to the person that you're working with. And so there could be a lot of complexity to a squat, or it could just be watching someone sit into a chair or get up out of a chair. So it can be very simple as well. But I suppose the point being that if you know how to squat well, and this is based on motor learning, the brain learns in chunks, it seems, and there are various kind of engrams that we develop and motor programs that we develop, and it seems like because there's such a extraordinary or infinite array of movement possibilities, it's most likely that the brain develops a capacity to move well in certain movement patterns, like, for example, these primal patterns, squatting, bending, pushing, twisting. And then it kind of picks and selects different elements of these patterns in order to... So an example that's often used is when you throw a ball or you throw a punch, you're going to lunge into it, you're going to twist through your trunk, and then you're going to push with your hand, essentially, or push with a bit of secondary movement of internal, external rotation. So... but the primary movement patterns are these, what we would term the primal movement patterns. And so part of the concept there is that if you were in a primal environment and you weren't able to do one of those patterns, it's going to compromise your capacity to survive.